Back at it on a nice morning out here at the collapsing corner store project, and as you saw last time, it's collapsing a little less. We got a floor going back together inside, so let's get in there and carry on. Here's where we left off last time. So joists are there, but still need a little more blocking. Dave's gonna work on that. I'm gonna grab some sheets of subfloor, start rolling out a bit of a walkway, see if I can get a starting chalk line snapped here. It'd be nice if we could get a line that runs all the way to the front. We'll see how good we do on that over time, I guess, but we'll give it the best shot. Can always adjust midstream. I'm not trying to be your boss here, but I don't think that's gonna fit. Seems a little long. If you hit it with the hammer enough, it may.
It may.
Yeah. I think that needs a little trim.
Yeah, no, also got to take the screw out here.
Yeah, it leans a little.
To come back.
I think the block will take care of that.
Yeah, once I take the screw out.
Yep. Love that
Downstairs.
Love that high quality lumber.
Back downstairs.
Yeah, because we have an upstairs. Look at that. So I got these as a walkway laid out, which allows us to figure out what a straight line means, and they're actually breaking pretty nicely. These are all falling pretty well. The on centers are a little wonky, but I guess it works. Take the small victories, at least this far. So I laid them out nicely on the joists, and then ended up getting measurements off the brick at this is an arbitrary line, 50 3/4 inches off. So I'm going to run with that. We are going to leave some spacing at the wall because that kind of goes in and out. Some areas have plaster, some don't. Hopefully by leaving space, it does run all the way up front. And then that space is just over the stone and under the 2x4 load-bearing walls that we're going to build up here. So should work out pretty nicely. The masons are also going to be here. They just looked at it, tightened all that mess up there so we can get the last joist in, because once we put that joist, there ain't no access anymore. What'll be interesting there is do they still break nicely? Well, looks like we can use the back door now. Just a bit of a step. We got some 12-foot long 2x4s. I think we'll put something over that. So that allows us to start building some walls here as soon as we got floor down. It was a productive use of our time while the masons work on this. We got a little bit more to do, and then we can start getting in sheets here with the last joist. That our drawbridge. See if it's the right size to fit. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Yep, good stuff. And the as you can see there, the level with this stone worked out pretty nicely. Funny how when you get things back to the correct level, they work. Weird. And just a little more blocking to fill in.
Almost there. Oh, you're not gonna get that one. That one runs all the way back. Yeah. But at least we got this.
First sheet of subfloor going down. So we did end up setting it back from the corner here. Put a partial sheet in there, and we couldn't get a 48-inch, so set it back closer one, and that'll work out because there's a little longer gap to get to the back wall. They don't quite have that finished up for us. Need to pack some more stuff in here. So We can't really wait around on that. Easier just to start flowing forward for the length that we actually can. Unfortunately, we can still only go so far, but it allows us to get something at least. Alright, so these guys bought the building across the alley to rehab. It had a fire. And I guess they're working on another building nearby, and they got a dumpster there. They've been hauling trash over to it, and they have half of a 40-yard filled. Seems like it would have been easier just to get a dumpster wherever they are, but whatever works. As long as they're not using ours. So, second sheet down, had a jam, but getting there. Sheet number 3. And that, unfortunately, stalls us out. But they will get that tomorrow. We're not going to be here tomorrow. So as long as they do get that tomorrow, we can continue with a little more. We're still going to run out because we can only go so far. So that gets us back into demolition up there. Fun, I guess. Well, we went over to the up-down house for a couple days to let the masons take care of things, and all fixed up. So get our last joists in there, and can get at least a little bit more subfloor down. Then we're gonna have to start cutting again. Time to carry on with some more demolition work, because we can't really get any further without taking these out. And I think you're gonna have to get the bridging. Yeah, so cutting the sort of stair support out here. It wasn't doing a whole lot, but that bracing should take care of holding the stairs. Should. So, yep. Clear these out, extend the framing a little longer. Now what we'll find out soon is, has the beam on this side of the basement stairs sunk down like it was on the back? Almost 2 inches? I would not be surprised if it is. A hole in the floor here. By very much. It's a day shy of October and it's 90 degrees outside. And I think it's warmer in here. It's supposed to be really nice by now. This is the time of year I love working. Anyway, despite that, getting rows across and we're about to hit our end here, which really will force us into filling that in. But I think that's for tomorrow. We're gonna finish out the day today with just the sheets that we have left here. That'll take us to quitting time. Yay. As usual, it's trim in the way. And we have a very insistent operator there that he can just peel that off with a hammer. But I'm pretty sure you're pulling the entire door frame out. I don't think it's just a little plinth block like you were thinking.
It is.
Yeah, but it's really well. All right. That gets that. Now the other part may be cut high enough that we can get under it.
There.
All right. That'll work.
Stop complaining.
Who doesn't like complaining, especially on a Tuesday? Well, unfortunately I managed to goop myself putting this piece in here, tight piece, and as usual, got to use some leverage on the last piece, but looks like it went right in. It's the only way you're going to get it tight is use some leverage. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good from here.
Well, no, I meant everywhere. Square.
I know. It looks good from my house. So that is a whole angle across. And amazingly, these are falling on centers. We have not had to trim a sheet yet, and I should not say this, except of course for our starting row, because that did not work out as full sheets or full half sheets, and that's fine. Whatever. Allowed us to easily notch it out into the doorway where the stone was just at a set level. So that worked out nicely. So hopefully that's going to continue going forward. One way to find out. There we go. That takes care of that. So tomorrow, like I said, we'll start the floor joists in this section, and we do need to rebuild it for the basement stair. So that should be pretty simple. Just doubled up joists. And they're spread a little farther just because that's where the beam and the column are. So we'll get that taken care of first thing in the morning. And then we'll see if we can keep running forward and run out of that first stack hopefully, and maybe move the rest back here. And I guess we'll see how we want to work that out. That's tomorrow's problem. By coincidence, I had a can of cleaner here. It's essentially acetone. It will only dissolve on cured foam, but it was able to clean my hands off. I'm not necessarily encouraging you to clean your hands in that method, but it does work. All right, gonna get this out. Well, at least going to try to get this out a little further. Take 2 more joists out. Hey, there we go. 2 more joists out, we can get a full sheet run across when we piece the joists back in here, which is handy. I don't know what's actually holding that in the wall. That end was pretty rotten, it looked like. Yeah. So it looks like this beam is a little bit low, but not nearly as low as the back part was. So we'll probably have to jack it up a little bit. We'll see once we get a level on it. Ooh, I'm not gonna stand right there. And this is that area where they had already replaced some subfloor, who knows when, quite a while ago, I'm sure. Yes, the subfloor that they replaced took on enough water that it was delaminated itself on the underside, and the joists were in particularly bad condition through this stretch. Maybe not as bad as back there where they were missing, but pretty bad. Wants to go. I don't really care about the saw. It's your saw, not mine.
I care about me.
Bye-bye. Oh, it's not that heavy.
This one's a heavy one.
Specially selected just for you.
I gotta get screws, man.
Yeah. So that takes us right to the end of the beam there, and may need to trim that a little better to get that to fit halfway across. And then this is kind of funny here how they, like, it makes sense that they put the double over the post that we're going to replace now, because look at that bottom. And then it's just a little extension to make it to the actual stair opening size. And we'll just keep it like that. It seems fine. So need to wrap the ends of a few more joists here so we can get the doubles and then two more, and then we'll just header this off, I believe, in the same location. Well, it's not going to go into the wall as far either, because it's got that big sill stone instead of the big deep pocket, so we'll probably need to trim those a little bit. Well, now we know. So, like I was saying, header stairs should be going right back in the same location. I will verify that. Don't want to mess up, but I can't imagine they're not going in the same spot. And then you can really see from this side how much lower that is. So we're gonna, at some point, have to get the bottom of these stairs lifted up, but I think part of the issue is the top is probably sagged. We'll see what that means later. That is a problem for another day, I suppose. Always another problem. Leveling this off here, and the level itself is actually slightly low to here. It's more kind of like that, but you can see how much lower that guy is there. There was a big old pack of shims in there, and it still wasn't even close. So I think ultimately we need to get a piece of pressure treated 2x on the flat to really hold it up. But we used up all our pressure treated. So I think we'll temporarily build it up and swap it out tomorrow, I guess, or sometime whenever we have a piece here. But that allows us to get our header here for the stairs. And basement stairs used to start there, and they will actually start 3 feet 6 inches out from the exterior on the new plan, which is nice because it gives us a lot of room to get a much more gentle rise and run down to the basement. The old stairs were pretty steep. They're not really going to be for public use. This will just be storage for the commercial unit under here, and then the back will be management storage. So it's not really much of a tenant access space, but still, nice stairs are nice. Yep, almost there. So I guess we'll figure out where the 3 feet 6 inches actually comes off, where that string is. And we will have to extend that as a fire rated wall. There's a fire separation back here between the residential in the rear and commercial in the front. So, yeah, that's the ticket.
I'm serious. I twisted this post and it went, it's going down. Look at it.
I believe you.
It's dropping.
So we're jacking this up and the weight is off the post now, of course. I'm surprised the whole thing hasn't just fallen over. There's a nail. Okay.
It just sank down.
So it looked like it was around 2 inches. We're almost there. Needs a little more cranking.
I think it might be there.
Oh, almost. A little bit. Touch. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll fine tune for sure, but there, you almost got it. It's almost there. Thud.
What did you break?
As
I touched the post, it sank lower in the floor.
Glad we're gonna replace that. That looks great. Absolutely fantastic at the bottom. So we'll have to clean that hole out. We still got some concrete here. And there's a couple more. That, I don't know if it's going to need to go up more further as we go. I guess we'll find out. Right here is of the immediate concern. So I guess we'll brace that up with some 2x4s.
I see it was, the nails were holding up in the air.
Yeah, it worked for a long time.
I got a bucket for protection.
Yes, you can pick it.
Yep.
It definitely came down a touch. I'll recheck the level just in case, but that's holding. So 42 inches out from the exterior wall. I'm going to guess that measurement's meant to be off of the studded out exterior wall. So I'll add on a little bit. See where that takes us. It doesn't really have to be exact, but I want it close. Because that's what the plan said. Alright, I just cut up the header there. Getting it nailed in place. So, need a couple joist hangers for the joist going the other way, and another for the joist going to the left. Got some cleanup going. Always good to work in a clean, safer work site. And as soon as we get those in, we can start extending the subfloor, which is going to make me really happy. Just infilled these little joists here. So back up. We can continue staggering these out, and actually we can run pretty much every row. Well, I guess we can only get so far until we run out of joists there, but we can get more in this time, I think. Next piece of subfloor down, next joist in, and if we're lucky, we have enough room to run another piece out. I think I measured that right. Find out. We will have to re-figure out the line because it skips a little, but I think you're low on battery. Oh no! Pause! Now we're making some progress. So, just gotta knock that bottom plaster off so we can get it out relatively tight. And the layout is just a touch off. We gotta trim about a ½ inch off the ends of these. And this is about 44 inches wide here. Better than the rips we had next door where we had like 10 inches to rip. This we're just taking a little off so we can use mostly a full sheet. I will take that. That's some pretty good progress for today. A few hiccups along the way. Took a little time to get this all jacked up, leveled out, shimmed up, but worth taking the time to get it right for sure. And that's all part of the fun. So, wrap things up for this time. Good progress. Next time, we'll be getting more subfloor down back here, of course. And we'll also be carrying along with tear out and more floor joists over here. So, new operating plan is to continue up this left side here all the way to the front. So that's going to involve moving some things, and we thankfully have a nice floor back here to move things to now. So we'll see how that all goes, but more cutting, more joists, more subfloor, more surprises maybe. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. But thanks for rebuilding along with us. If you haven't already done so, we'd really appreciate a like and a subscription. Share it with a friend. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys back next time out here on the Collapsing Corner Store project with a little less collapse and a little more store.